The New Jersey Clean Communities Council first launched a visual litter survey in 2004 to assess the amount of litter in specific areas of the state. Researchers returned in 2017 and 18 and noted an impressive 53% decrease in the amount of litter in those same locations. This is a story about the remaining other 47% of the litter.
The purpose of this is to see how much litter is out there, what kinds of litter are out there, and how the profile of litter, the items that are out there, have changed since we conducted the previous survey.
I've done surveys all over the country, and it always is kind of weird what you see and where you see it. I didn't really have any expectation when I came to New Jersey.
So you have a litter survey that's done in 2004 that basically assess the impacts in certain areas of litter at the time. A lot of work has been done since that time. There's been a lot of initiatives with Clean Communities and other partners, with the Department of Transportation, other programs, a lot of municipalities, municipal coordinators. It was time to go and reassess and say, let's get some boots on the ground. Let's evaluate what we evaluated in 2004 and see, apples to apples, whether there's been a positive effect.
It's a community's problem. It's all of us, and there needs to be that educational, component.
Well, New Jersey happens to be one of the states that has the greatest population density. And that to be said, we have lots of paved environment. We are living on a built environment with lots of parking lot and concrete paveway. So waters are running down the street when it rains down, and that carry trash into the waterway.
And I'd say in the United States, we still have a kind of a behavior change issue that needs to take place. We see a lot of people littering, throwing stuff out the car, or sometimes it's accidental, just overflowing trash cans, things like that. But we are lucky enough to have a waste infrastructure in place. We're really trying to target some of these hot spots where plastic pollution, we call it leakage, but it really does literally flow into our waterways and our ocean. And as we know, it's all really just one ocean connected. So anything we can do to kind of stop the leakage and turn off the faucet will help stop the flood of plastics.
We represent some of the largest plastic resin manufacturers in the United States and work with them to find ways to address the marine debris issue both in the U.S. and globally. Basically what happens is litter on land works its way into the ocean, and that becomes marine debris. In the U.S., we're talking typically about litter and a lot of consumer products, a lot of packaging type products that get littered on the ground. They're not disposed of properly, and they work their way into the environment and into rivers and eventually into the ocean.
Today you get people, I sweep my sidewalk, but they sweep it out to the curb. It's not what it's about. Part of Clean Communities is also not allowing all of that to go down into the sewers.
I've been working on this trash project with a goal to stop trash from entering Passaic River, a newer bay, for the past year and a half. And of course, our goal is to be able to control the trash input into the waterway.
So on land, debris tends to blow around. Once it gets into the water, it tends to get, some of it floats, some of it sinks. It tends to get fouled with different kinds of organisms, and it creates other challenges once it's in the ocean environment or in the water environment. It's also more difficult to clean up once it gets into the ocean. While we don't want litter anywhere, it's a lot easier to pick it up on the ground or even on the beach than it is to try to strain it out of the ocean. With litter surveys and with a lot of the municipal leaders and the municipal governments that we have, it's very important to understand what the litter issues are on land, where the hot spots are, because that's our best chance to keep things from getting into the ocean, to prevent marine debris. And really, we're looking for upstream prevention as much as possible.
The New Jersey Clean Communities Council oversees and administers the grants which are administered in the state of New Jersey. We've always had a good interactive give and take relationship. We're just appraised of the work that Sandy and her group is doing. And from that, we step back and say, you're the boots on the ground. You're the ones interacting with the municipalities. You're the ones dealing with the clean community coordinators.
Both of the visual litter surveys were conducted across 6 regions of New Jersey on the exact same 94 survey sites. Here are some of the researchers.
We're on Route 540 right now, and this road runs from the northwest side of the county all the way to the southeast side. It's pretty typical of what we see in Salem County, rural throughway roads. We have the Woodstown FFA, the Future Farmers of America. They're helping us today. We're trying to find out what good use the funding for the Clean Communities Grant is doing in our communities. We're looking to see what type of litter is out here, and then we're going to implement how to abate this litter.
I had the groups going out, we mapped an area, and while we're there, let's clean it up. So it was a twofold.
Sussex County is very rural, and we don't have a lot of sidewalks, so there's not a lot of walking trash. It's more coming out of the beds of cars or people just driving and dumping. So we deal with a lot of roadside cleanups here. We created a cow logo, and that's going well in the county. A lot of people are responding well to that, and it's getting the word out about clean communities and stop littering.
And we start a dialogue, and we give them a bag for their grocery shopping. And I take the bags and I give them to our local deli so that they can use these bags. So it brings up information, it makes them question all about the Clean Communities program.
We're collecting right now single-use bags in our municipality, which we then donate to the Trex program for the kids to win a bench at the school.
So we did this survey about 3 weeks ago, and then today was our cleanup.
How we organized this, Linda and I got together. We just started networking, and she said, I have to do a project, and I said, well, I'm planning a beach cleanup. I said, she said, can I join? I said, absolutely, the more the better. So we just put it out there on Facebook, had it mentioned at council meetings, got community members, volunteers, everybody came out, and I was very impressed with the amount of debris that was taken off the beach.
Picked up a lot of cigarette butts. And we came to help our environment. I think that they should have just put them in the trash cans instead of in the sand, because that would have been so much better. The butts aren't going to go away. They'll always be there.
With a clean community as it is, people will be a little less inclined to litter. They'll see something where it's pristine and they'll say, well, rather than throw this bottle on the dirt, I'm going to pick it up and carry it to the nearest receptacle. Otherwise, if they see trash, they may just say, my conscience can get over this, I'll leave it behind. A clean community promotes a clean environment, so with that in mind, we like doing this.
I'm very proud of it. I'm excited, actually, that so many people got involved, and the little kids got involved, and older people. I just thought it was a great connection. Everybody is on the same page. They want to keep our beaches clean and litter out.
I thought the problem would be larger trash items.
Yeah.
So the remedy would be placement of a trash can. I have 120 cigarette butts.
I saw no fault
in
at
that
all.
one block.
Like I said, the biggest stuff I saw was a couple of empty water bottles and Gatorade bottles.
I had 22 candy and snack wrappers.
All right, I didn't have anywhere near there, but I saw about a half a dozen snack wrappers and a few straws and stirrers.
When I was a kid, everything was paper bags. Now they give you the plastic bags. The biggest problem we have in Bayonne is if you drive around on a windy day, those little plastic bags are in our trees.
In the mornings when I walk into my office, I'll find literally plastic bags, pieces of paper, cigarette butts, and other remnants on the ground, and I pick them up.
Well, this is really a huge job, and I would say it takes a whole community to get it done. As much as I believe that public work is the centerpiece of this whole operation, I would really think that involving the community, involving school children, involving all the volunteers that you can find to do it together, as well as to empower our residents to send a message out, and that will really help with the trash reduction. Reduction is the number one before we can go in and pick up the rest.
With all of the efforts that are being done by the Clean Communities Council, I think keeping litter in the forefront into people's minds is probably one of the greatest benefits.
We get invites from partners all over the world all the time, and to be able to be in close enough proximity to come and join and hear all the local stories that are going on around waste reduction, around recycling, what students are doing in their local communities or in their counties. It's really inspiring work, and it's kind of nice to see the fruits of our labor in that we house a lot of the data, we create a lot of the resources, but we don't get to do a lot of the on-the-ground work and a lot of the on-the-ground outreach. So I was inspired by all the local stories and hearing what folks are doing all around the state.
And what we've done and what we're going to help the coordinators do is understand better what likely sources are contributing to litters in various areas. And by doing that, then you can target those things, because if you're just doing some blanket approach, then it's kind of difficult to gauge whether you're going to be effective. But once you've identified sources and you target those and try and work out programs to improve that.
The visual litter survey will give us a clear picture toward what is actually happening out there. Because a lot of time we are not necessarily walking down the street, but sitting in our car and not necessarily knowing that what is actually out there.
If you don't know what your problems are, how do you come up with solutions? And that's what the survey, technically is all about.
The recent visual litter survey discovered a 53% decrease in litter since 2004, prompting the Other 47 campaign.
And I have to tell you, it's pretty exciting to see the results. There has been a 53% reduction in the litter generally throughout the areas. But a lot of the initiatives that have been undertaken in the past will afford us the opportunity to reflect on them. Have they worked? And then maybe redirect and come up with new initiatives to try to push the ball.
I think that's great news to know that what we do on a day-to-day basis is actually working, and our message is getting out there and people are not littering as much.
It's important for our community to stay clean. It's important for us not to litter. We need to have good water and a good environment to raise our kids in.
We have made a difference.
There were so many sites that we went to where there was almost no litter.
It's about instilling in the people, a sense of community, a sense of pride. And I think when you can do that, it's much easier to get your community to chip in to help clean your community and to keep your community clean.